some very delicious dancers and their tasty recipes they put into a cookbook. And later on, I'm going to take you into my kitchen to show you some of their dishes. And in the meantime, we'll talk about their dancing, and then we'll talk about their yummy recipes. So introduce yourself, explain who you are. And also there's one thing I've noticed you all do is you're all teach. You all care about the next generation. And I just love that. And I see you all have some shows coming up, or you did some shows. So talk away.
Is this a real book? Can I ask, have you made a book yet, or is this a project in preparation?
Well, I think it's just a project that Edward from Red Shell Management has started. And right now it's on his website.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
So people can go to the website to get the recipe.
Right, exactly.
Why don't we start with Miss Byer? Why don't you introduce Miss Byer, and we'll talk a bit about her company and what she's doing.
Okay, Diana Byer with the New York Theater Ballet. And I've got to ask, because the name sounded familiar to me. Maybe, I'd say 15 years ago, were you at the FIAF, and did you do like Carnival of the Animals?
Yes, we did. Yep.
I took my 10-year-old kid and his little friend Kai to see it, and these two little boys, and they loved it.
Oh, that's so good to hear. Thank you. That's great.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That's
You're very children friendly.
We are. Yes, we do two things. We do regular repertory, and we unearth little masterpieces from major choreographers like Frederick Ashton. We have 9 ballets by Anthony Tudor in the rep. We have Agnes de Mille's Broadway dances. And then we discover young emerging choreographers. Pam Tanowitz did some of her first works with us. Let's see, Niccolo Fonte, Gemma Bond. So that's our regular repertory program. And then we do Once Upon a Ballet for family audiences. And we have Carnival of the Animals. We have a wonderful Alice in Wonderland, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Mother Goose, which I adore. And and we've been working, knock on wood. We worked all year doing performances for just 10 people in our studio. And we used 21 choreographers and kept our dancers working. So I was very pleased. And we have performances coming up at Florence School Hall, Nutcracker, which we'll also be doing at Arts Brookfield downtown. And we're doing a new piece by Bridgman Packer in February at Florence School Hall, plus some other things.
Aren't you though, but August 12th and 20th, you're going to be at the 40th Annual Battery Dance Festival.
Yes, we are. And you know, we were in the first one 40 years ago.
No.
Yes.
But you weren't even born 40 years ago, so you founded the company.
Yeah, it was, well, we're going to be, I think we're 43 years old now, 1978.
Wow.
I did it in 1978. So, but it was wonderful. Jonathan was one of my first pupils. And when he started the festival, we were the first company, along with his company. So yeah, 40th anniversary of appearing with the Battery Dance Festival. So we're excited. We're doing Jerome Robbins' Rondo. It's a duet for 2 women. And we're doing a gorgeous solo by Niccolo Fonte that he just choreographed for our performances, Lift Lab Live, that we did during COVID.
Are these scheduled yet? Do you have a date for these yet? Or...
For the other ones, we're waiting on the contract, but it should be the end of February. Okay. But the contract is not on my desk yet.
And Naini Chen, how long has your dance company been around? And you're in the kitchen already. So you're already prepared.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you all. Yes, I have the kitchen here. Well, my company has been around for 31 years now.
Wow.
You know, I founded the company in the winter of 1988. So it's been a while. So I'm an immigrant artist. You know, I came from Taiwan and moved to New York to pursue my dream. and advance my career as a dancer and choreographer. And I founded the company because I had this, vision that I want to not only to explore what this great country can offer, the dance in New York, such a wonderful place to advance myself, but also to bring in my heritage, because I have studied traditional Chinese dance in Taiwan since I was 4 years old. And I just feel like that part of tradition is so beautiful, and I want to introduce that to the American audience as well. And so for the last 31 years, I've been doing finding the essence in both, both cultures and both art form and dance, and then put them together and to create something new. And I feel like as immigrant artists, that's what we can contribute, to this society. Not only we come here to learn and to get something from this country, we also bring something to the society and to make contribution. And so that has always been my goal. And my company have 10 dancers, wonderful, beautiful dancers from everywhere in the world. Right now I have dancer from from here, from Italy, from Japan, from China. So it's a very, very international, and a very multi-racial company. And it has always been that way. And I really enjoy this, how you say, this diverse community, like we come together to build a family. So I really enjoy the creative process and working with them, throughout the years. We are performing regularly at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. It's been over 20 years now. We've been presented there every year to celebrate Lunar New Year. So next performance will be February, in February during the Lunar New Year time, to do a big show there. And we also have the upcoming show. It's entirely contemporary program to be presented at the Hudson River Festival in Weehawken, New Jersey. And that'll be on September 10th. And I welcome everyone to come to watch. It's a free show, it's an outdoor performance. And then also we are a touring company. So the company has been touring to over 30 states in this country now so far. And so the next stop will be Clemson University in South Carolina. So, the pandemic really hit us, just like everybody else. So we have done a lot of virtual performances, and also we just go into the theater and then video the show and then do it, perform it virtually, we're presented by SOPAC, South Orange Performing Arts Center. And it was broadcast on New Jersey PBS station. So.
And now we have Mr. Gaddis here from Las Vegas, but your company has a different name, but you're in conjunction with Las Vegas, correct?
Yes. My name is Bernard Gaddis, and I'm the founder and artistic director for Contemporary West Dance Theater, formerly known as the Las Vegas Contemporary Dance Theater. And we are actually celebrating 15 years. We are the first contemporary dance theater professional contemporary dance theater in the state of Nevada and in Las Vegas. And the only other dance company we have in Las Vegas is Nevada Ballet Theater. And this year, we're actually going through COVID. We actually had some good things happen for the company. We partnered with the city of Las Vegas and Office of Cultural Affairs, and they put us in the Charlestonites Performing Arts Center, where we're now the resident company for that center. So that happened in 2020. We were able to do a hybrid summer intensive as well as virtual performances throughout the year. We've done about 3 virtual performances. And then in October 22nd and 23rd of this year, we're actually doing our first in-house concert, pre-COVID. So will have an audience in October. We have actually over probably about 60 ballets in our repertoire. And some of the ballets are Alvin Ailey, Night Creature, as well as Ulysses Dove's works, Elisa Monte, myself. And I'm originally from Philadelphia, so I'm an East Coast boy. And my first company that I had joined was Philadelphia when I was 15 years old, as a company member. And then I joined the Ailey Company for 8 years under the direction of Judith Jameson. I used to be, I kind of feel like I'm kind of the last of the generation that was surrounded by the great legends, Miss Graham and Mr. Ailey and Donald McHale, and and I was taught by all of those, and Tally Beatties and all that stuff. So I was taught by that generation of amazing people.
Well, then you will appreciate this story from one of the people that was supposed to be here, but sadly he couldn't reschedule his travel plans. And that is Dante Puleio from the Jose Limón Company.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So he wanted to share two stories. If you notice, Doris Humphrey, one of the mothers of modern dance, has a recipe in the cookbook. I got it from her son, Charles Woodford. She rarely made food, but when she did, it was this dessert, a popular sweet at that time. Charles also told me that Doris didn't like cooking or enjoy food that much and only ate because she had to. In fact, when they went out to eat, she would normally order the 5th item on the menu, no matter what it was, because her favorite number was 5. So if this cookbook does go to print, Ed said this recipe will go on page 5 to honor Doris.
Nice.
She always made this soup for us on Halloween. So after all the cousins went around my grandparents' neighborhood trick-or-treating, she made us this incredible soup that ended up completely distracting us from eating the candy. It wouldn't distract me, which I am only realizing now as I wrote this story 40 years later. Thank you for including me, Annie. Sorry to miss it, but I'm going to go in the kitchen now. So talk amongst yourselves.
Diana, I'd like to talk to you about your lovely cake.
I put raspberries on top.
Oh, that's grand. What kind of cake is it?
It's a rum cake, and it's to cure that pesky nutcracker cold, because rum has properties that kills bacteria, and it's really a very good decongestant. So this recipe was from a very good friend of mine since grammar school, Joan Brame. And in fact, we made it together last night. I'm in New Jersey right now and with her, and we made it last night. So here it is. And it's a very rummy, very, very moist. It's good served with fruit and vanilla ice cream. Right now I have whipped cream on it, but it kind of deflated.
Oh, it looks just wonderful. It looks sort of like almost like an angel food cake in a sense.
It does, because it was in a bundt pan, and on top there's a lot of nuts on the top of it.
That's grand. Naichi, what have you brought to us today?
So I prepared a recipe. It's actually one of my daughter's favorite dishes. I cook at home like all the time. It's called the 3 cups chicken. And I believe Eva, she also made it, right? She made it.
Yes, I did.
And let me show you. I also made it just in case. So it's a very has such aroma, such a delicious smell. And it's called the 3 cups chicken. And why is that? Because the 3 cups refer to sesame oil. And the rice wine. Okay, maybe you can see. I don't know if you can see rice wine, and also 3 kinds of soy sauce. Soy sauce, very typical Chinese food. Soy sauce, cannot cook Chinese food without soy sauce. And also very important ingredient is basil. I know I put down on the recipe said cilantro, but the basil is actually very important to bring out the flavor, And this is a very popular Taiwanese dish.
It's always important to know substitutes because everyone, you know, has their dietary things. So it's still delicious with the sake. And also you don't need fresh basil. I used, you know, this kind of basil. And also I did not put sugar in it and it still was delicious. So it's okay without the sugar. If
Right,
you know,
you don't have to,
diabetic.
yeah. Like I don't, you know, as a dancer, I'm always watching my weight, right, and diet. So I don't like to put too much sugar, even the recipe says sugar, I just put a little bit. Yeah. So really, and also use rock candy is different taste also. But it's up to individual. You can certainly make a more soy sauce or less, more cooking wine, you know, or less. But I think the 3 cups is like the 3 different main ingredient, the wine and the soy sauce and sesame oil is supposed to be about the equal amount. That's why it's called 3 cups. Yeah.
Mr. Gaddis, what did you contribute to the book?
Well, I cooked a curry chicken.
All right, here we go. Can you see it?
Yeah. Oh, no, it looks really good.
Yes.
Nice.
Kashmiri mild curry, because he didn't say specifically what kind of curry. So it tastes delicious with Kashmiri mild curry. Oh, and this is also important because for people who are Jewish and kosher like me and have a kosher kitchen, I couldn't use the heavy cream. So what I did was instead I used this from Trader Joe's coconut and almond creamer. Oh my God, it is so bloody delicious. Anyway, carry on.
Originally, I'm from the South. So I grew up with a cooking family, my grandfather and my grandmother. So I started cooking at the age of 7, sort of interested in, you know, making dishes and everything. So I would start with making French toast for my grandfather, and that probably was all I could do. So, but through the years, my grandmother, I sat on a stool in the kitchen when my grandmother and my aunts cooked. And so I've always surrounded myself with food, and I believe that food brings love and family and togetherness. And so this curry dish that I make it for my company members. And so they always kind of come to my home, and you know, I'm always cooking many different things for the company, and we all kind of sit around the table and, you know, laugh and talk and all that other stuff. So food is a very big part of my life. You know, as a dancer, as an artist, you know, I believe that in cooking, there's an art form as well. And so the curry dish was probably one of my favorites, or one of the dancers' favorites, because it wasn't as fattening or lasagna or anything like that. So they were like, oh, we can keep our waistline and still dance with having the curry chicken. I'm sorry I'm not in the kitchen. I'm actually traveling. I'm back at home in Philadelphia teaching. So I'm actually in my mom's house, and so I wasn't able to whip up something. But the curry dish is very important for the chicken. I like the chicken to be breast cutlets. And I don't usually use dark meat, the dark meat of the chicken. So we use breast cutlets, fresh garlic. I love garlic. So I put it almost in everything.
Me too.
And you can use heavy cream or you can use half and half. I kind of like to use the heavy cream or just have, because it doesn't have sugar, as you said before. And I usually cook the chicken first, and then saute the vegetables, mushrooms, and I use a yellow curry, but you can use a red curry if you like, depending on whatever curry you prefer as far as taste. But the one that I sent you was a yellow curry. It was difficult in trying to give you the recipe, because coming from an African-American family, we don't measure stuff. So it's all to taste. We just kind of throw a little bit in, throw it in, then, and keep tasting, and then, and then it comes out.
I even got my little Halloween mug out. So can you see it?
Yes.
You can see it's like meatballs and chicken and tomato sauce and all sorts of stuff.
Thank you so very much for joining us today. I'm afraid we do have to move on because the show's short, and there's been some great stuff in here.
And who needs Swan Lake when you have chicken recipes and rum cake?
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And
Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you
us.
so much. My stomach thanks. From Dancer's Corner to Reviewer's Corner. And continuing with live, Mark and I went to see Andre de Shield at 54 Below, a live performance. Andre de Shield's Black by Popular Demand. Mark, take it away.
Well, it's a magical spiritual journey to the exotic place like Shambhala and also places that are very familiar, political America. And a group of backup singers who are extremely talented. And the costumes were to die for. It was a very exciting night at Studio 50, at 54 Below.
Yes, nobody commands a room or stage like Mr. DeShields. I said Mick Jagger could take a lesson from him on a scintillating way to dress, strut, and sing with intensity. And this was a more profound show than you would normally find in a cabaret. And as he pointed out, and that this is very profound to me, you can't take another man's path to your home.
Love it.
And the show ends so dramatically, you will be reaching for your tissues. And I just want to say, Lori Tish, the backup singer, Lori Tishfield's had a tragic mulatto song. Frida Williams was singing this wonderful, I love you, say you love me. And Kimberly Maribel got to recite a poem about the versatility of hair and her encounter with the fancy, expensive e-salon to achieve a desired effect. And these were writings from his diary, from Andre de Shield's diary from when he was, in COVID. And his band was amazing. He had this percussionist, Rudy Bird, and he had some moves. And the pianist, Sean Mays, at the piano. Ooh, could he tickle those ivories? And it was co-written by Murray Horowitz. And again, I'm giving this one a major happy face.
And I agree, which is unusual.
Someone we haven't heard from a very, very long time has resurfaced. Bob Criso has written us a review, and it's going on till August 15th, so it's still going on. It's Bob Criso reviews Georgie D. Off Broadway is percolating again, live on stage instead of on Zoom or video. The Chain Theater on West 36th Street is currently hosting a one-act theater festival that also includes a full-length play, Georgie D, by Jessica Durdock Moreno, a young MFA graduate at NYU Tisch and award-winning playwright. The play addresses themes of sibling relationships with parents as well as each other, while implicitly posing the question, why is it that the most important things in a family are often never talked about? And again, he says, bring some tissues because this insightful play packs a wallop. It has a raw, gritty reality to it that slowly unfolds and may force you to think about your own family business. And this is a workshop piece in process, so hopefully the issues that he thought was niggling a bit will make it run longer. And there's more on Facebook, but he's giving it a happy face minus. On my own, I went to the Signature Theater where they're doing Lynn Nottage's The Watering Hole. And it's this wonderful immersive theater. It's all water related, but it was like a cleansing of the theater because we were taken around to each of the performing spaces. There's 3 performing spaces. And one of them, Lilini, was completely underwater. And in one where I saw the Cambodian rock band, you're on stage and the audience is all covered in a sheet with like a movie. And I cried because it was like one of the last things I saw. And there I am on the stage where you're actually on the stage and you get to almost be like the actor looking at the audience. And then you were at the other theater and you got to go to the dressing rooms. You just were taken all over the space. It was so incredibly moving and just like, wow. And now, for that men among men in the theater, our very own Jay Michaels with Indie Influencer. Ooh, what has he got to say this week?
This is Jay Michaels. This is Indie Influencer, and this is a high drama Shakespeare once said this about actors: the abstract and brief chronicle of the time. After your death, you had better have a bad epitaph than their ill report while you live. Roughly translated, the news comes and goes and is real or not so real, but the play is a thing, and that thing is here to stay. Alex Perez's new thing, his new play, Randy's Dandy Roller Coaster, opens this month, August, at the avant-garde IRT Theater, and might be such a chronicle, as this dark comedy touches on a plethora of topics, including the psychological toll of low-wage labor markets, employer-employee power dynamics, as well as the differing socio-political perspectives between generations of immigrants. The abstract and brief chronicle of the time. And speaking of Hamlet, Shakespeare Sports Theatre is reviving their riveting production of Hamlet, featuring Matt Timestra and directed by Michael Hagens. This enlightened company, under the artistic direction of Carrie Isaacman, who is a stage and filmmaker and fellow academic, infuses their productions with topical insinuations without ever leaving their iambic pentameter. Catch them at the end of this month, at the end of August, at the Downtown Cutting Edge Clemente Theater. Live theater. It's returning. And it's returning more enlightened, more daring than ever. And I'm thrilled. And the rest is silence. Now, who said that? This is Jay Michaels. This is Indie Influencer. And this is High Drama.
Thank you very much, Jay. And our next show is August 28th, and I might be in England doing the show. Who knows if I get my passport or not. And also, I want to give you a list of upcoming events like we always used to do, and we're doing it again. And enjoy what's coming up. Bye, everybody. Enjoy
Thank you.
what's coming up.
Good night.
Thank you so much for being so patient, too.